training camp. They will train in Vegas this week. Then they will battle Canada, I believe, next week, and as a tune-up for the Olympics. But at training camp, you guys can take a guess what the biggest story is going to be. 39-year-old LeBron James. And boy, what a rough summer for LeBron, huh? I mean, goodness gracious. The guy handpicks the Lakers' next head coach, his podcast buddy. Then he gets the Lakers to draft his son in the second round and give him a big fat contract. It's dripping with hate, folks. You know it's coming. And then LeBron says, I'll take less to bring in free agents. And then they don't get anyone. Oh, wow. You know, the media, the ink-stained wretches who are going to be covering this team in Vegas, it could get ugly. A lot of these guys grew up Michael Jordan sycophants, younger in the 90s. They love Jordan. They're not huge fans of LeBron, and you know the media loves to build people up and then tear them down. And it is coming. Folks, do you see the article that dropped this morning? I don't know if you saw it. Big question. So is LeBron going to come off the bench for Team USA? The pylon begins. They're coming after the king. But you know the saying from The Wire, you come at the king, you best not miss. People are now speculating, should LeBron come off the bench for Team USA? This stacked team. I mean, obviously, Joel Embiid will start at center. Right, we got that. You got Steph Curry as your point guard. Here's the roster we got on FS1. Probably need Kevin Durant as your stretch four. Okay, so that's 3 spots. Then you need a lockdown wing defender. Well, that's not LeBron. That's probably Kawhi Leonard, right? He's healthy, allegedly. Steve Kerr says he's healthy. Whatever. And then you'll need like a shooting guard to fill it up. Maybe a D-Book, Anthony Edwards. You want to get very defensive, Drew Holiday. Maybe it's all matchup dependent. When they play France, and oh my gosh, I can't wait for that game. Gobert and Wembanyama are working together right now as the starters for France. That is an impenetrable back line. And USA will have to counter with Embiid and Anthony Davis probably starting. But all of this is a roundabout way of saying, well, shucks, should LeBron come off the bench? And you know there's somebody sitting there stewing. Just wait. I'm going to come off the bench? Really? You guys are sending me to Paris so I can come off the bench? You think, how's LeBron going to take that? And, folks, we're at this weird space now, and we'll get to in-depth a little shortly, where once the athletes get near the end, it starts to become open season on them because the media has been, ball washing these guys for 2 decades, and now all of a sudden it's LeBron. He's 39. Now it's weird because in the 80s, Magic obviously had to retire early. Larry Bird's injuries, he was done in his early to mid-30s. Isaiah Thomas just up and retired before he was even 35. Jordan quit 2 times well before the age of 39. So it's like, LeBron's playing at we should be applauding him and excited that he's still around and playing at such a high all-NBA level, averaging 25, 7, and 7, or whatever the numbers are. And now you guys are trying to drive him to the bench? Listen, we know that commanding control of a team and the court and just owning everything is a space of basically 3 guys in the NBA right now. 3 people do it better than anyone. Anybody can score. Anybody can be a pure point guard. Anybody can rebound. But when you've got somebody who does all those, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James, they're still the 3 best at totally controlling all the pieces on the chessboard. They've got everything, manipulating defenses. They're the 3 best at it. 2 of those guys, they're not playing for USA, obviously. And by the way, Luka Doncic has a seismic battle against Giannis tomorrow. Hello and welcome to The Herd. Hope everybody had a safe, fun-filled July 4th. It's me, Jason McIntyre, in for Colin Cowherd. My last day subbing in for the big guy. He's back next week. I will not be here next week. So on my final day of the week, I'm joined by Alex Curry. Alex, how you doing? How was your July 4th?
It was great. It was wild. I got home and there was already a party at my house. It's what I get for being married to a rock star. But we did like a cruise down the Strand. It was wild in Hermosa Beach. And then it sounded like we were hearing like firework explosions from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. Did you hear them from your place too?
I got a horrible night's sleep.
That was wild.
Horrendous.
It was wild. Yeah, but so much fun.
If I'm off my game today, I'm going to blame the fireworks and the LA parties that were happening all night. I tried to go to bed early, and it didn't quite work out. But I woke up this morning to some news from my BFF, right? The former NFL MVP, I'll call him a frenemy, Cam Newton. My goodness, Cam Newton chiming in here on the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. A shocking development. So obviously, listen, we know the Cowboys have been America's team for, going on 50 years now? I mean, they haven't been totally dominant in the last 20, but I've got some good news for Cowboys fans. It's not all terrible news off the heels of the Dak Prescott walking boot photo yesterday. But Cam Newton decided on his podcast, he's new to this media space, that he's declaring the Cowboys should not be America's team. Just because we're calling them the America's team, it should be the Chiefs because Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce. Oh, okay. Cam had a roundabout way of essentially saying that America's team, why are we doing that? And Cam has spoken, so we should all listen. Well, Cam is kind of new to this media thing, so I'm going to fill you in a little bit here, Cam. The New England Patriots were winners for 2 decades. They had a dynasty with Brady and Belichick. I think Brady won 7 Super Bowls. They were never America's team. It just didn't take. And as a matter of fact, if you ask me, they were hated outside of New England. People were tired of that dynasty. So just because right now the Kansas City Chiefs have won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years and Travis Kelce's dating Taylor Swift, it doesn't make them America's team. It's still the Cowboys, a blue blood franchise, which, dating back to the 70s has always been on top in the NFL. And listen, they play on Thanksgiving every year for a reason. The Dallas Cowboys haven't had back-to-back losing seasons since 2002. Folks, the Cowboys have been really, really good. Just because they haven't had postseason success doesn't mean we should strip the America's team moniker from Dallas. All I know is when I was a young NFL fan in the 90s and the Cowboys were dominant, and then the internet comes up and you got the starter jackets, everybody was a Cowboys fan. Everyone. Not just teenage girls under 13 who love the Chiefs now because of Taylor Swift. I don't know, Cam. It just felt a little weird, like you were trying to, engagement farm, perhaps. I think J.J. Redick would be proud here in the down season in the NFL. You're engagement farming, using the Cowboys to kind of cut through. But, Cam, that's just not how it works. Dallas is America's team. You want to go look at the NFL schedule? Cowboys in the early window 4 times all season. Why is that? Oh, it's because everybody wants their eyeballs on the Cowboys. They're in prime time all the time. They're in the 4 p.m. window all the time because they got fans all over America. Hell, Cam, I don't know if you noticed, but on July 4th, a photo emerged of Dak Prescott in a protective walking boot. And the NFL media went to DEFCON 1. It was panic time. And everybody freaked out. Oh, my gosh. Oh, here he is. Dak Prescott, a walking boot. Trey Lance, is he going to be starting week 1? People went ballistic. They lost their minds over a photo of Dak Prescott in a walking boot. This is America's team. This is what they are, Cam. And, we'll talk to someone later in the show, a great guest who actually has texted with with Dak Prescott about the injury. It was preventative. He was going fishing. Stand down, everybody. It's going to be okay. But this is what comes with the territory of America's team. I know, Cam is not as high on Dak Prescott as I am. And Cam is the king of hot takes and hats. Dak Prescott right now has led the Cowboys to 3 straight 12-win seasons. I think he should get paid. Here's Greg Cosell talking about Dak Prescott as we enter this season.
At his core, what he is he's an executor and a ball distributor, and he's good at it. Now, obviously, when you get into the playoffs and play better defenses, depending on who you're playing, you really have to be efficient. One of the issues they have, and they're going to have it this year, is the run game. They do not have a running back. If you look at what Ezekiel Elliott's tape has shown the last 2 years, he's certainly not a back that can carry 230 or 240 times. And Dak, because of the style of quarterback that he is at this point, as I said, a distributor, he needs a complete offense. He needs a run game to be effective.
Yeah, we all do. That was from the Ross Tucker podcast. Greg Cosell, good stuff. He comes on this show, as you guys know. But listen, I'm not as down on Dak as everyone else. Obviously, it's a massive season with the McCarthy situation looming, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. I'm not saying Dak Prescott is some world beater. I think he's good. I think he's a top 10, 11 quarterback in the league. But to try to steal the moniker,